Wait, don't. Why are you changing the choreography?
Oh no. Did I change it? It turned
Yeah.
into a side.
You was
I'm
giving us
sorry. I'm sorry.
very, very Miss Janet, Miss Jackson.
Oh,
Hit the damn recording.
Hit the damn record. He will record something.
Premiumbeat.com.
my gosh. Hi, friend.
Hey, friend.
Welcome to Unlikely Friends podcast.
Where two friends abroad talk about
Life
love
and loss.
and everything in between.
Everything
So,
in between.
now, all my dear friends who are watching, if you're watching on YouTube, please do us a favor. Like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
We welcome any kind comments, any helpful comments. And if you don't like it, that's okay. It's, maybe it's just not your thing.
Move on. There's no stress. Also, everybody watching on linear platforms, please give us a good rating so that the algorithm gods know that we're doing a good job and we get shown more
La,
often.
la, la, la. They
La, la,
sprinkle
la,
their
la.
their algorithm fairy dust.
Like the fairy dust.
Yep. How you doing, friend? I
I'm
haven't talked to you.
doing fine. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, we've had a 3-day weekend. I feel great. Oh, what's going on? What's going on with football? I don't know anything about it.
Nothing, but it's a dirty plug. So, if Galatasaray wants to hit us up for
Oh
like
my
some
gosh.
sponsorship,
So, Lord have mercy.
we're here for it.
So wait, are you okay? So again, I don't really know a lot about football, but do you have like a team that you love
I mean, if you
more than
ask
the
me,
other?
I mean, seriously, being an American from the United States, American, we really don't care about like European football so much. American football, yes, but European football, we really don't. I have to be honest about it. So when I first came here to Turkey, all of my students, they would ask me, teacher, which football team do you like? Soccer. We say soccer, they say football. Which football team do you support? And I was like, we really don't do
I don't
soccer.
know.
I mean, we do soccer in America, but it's not like, like it is here in Europe.
Yeah,
So
right.
I had to literally pick a team, like out of whole cloth, pick a team. But then the opportunity came when I first came here and I was working for a language school part-time. They wanted to have a teacher for the managers at Galatasaray.
Oh,
Yeah, so and I went there, just taught them like I think it was like twice a week or something, like once or twice a week, I can't remember. It's like 12 years ago. And when I went there, and they paid me quite well, and also when I went there, they would like give me gifts, like give me a Galatasaray scarf. I got scarves, I got mugs, I got pens, I got whatever, they can stamp a Galatasaray logo on. That's what I got. They like gave me gifts all the time. Um, can I say that I am a 100% supporter of Galatasaray? Absolutely. But I also have to say, in the same strain, if it had been Fenerbahce, if it had been Beşiktaş, if it had been Trabzonspor, if it had been Sivasspor that had given me a teaching job, I would support them too. So it just happened to be Galatasaray because Galatasaray was my first introduction to Turkish football. So I just left it at that. I'm Galatasaray. Everything else is garbage.
everything else is garbage.
Garbage.
I am not, again, I don't really know anything about it, but I do know that there were some protests that happened some time ago in Turkey, the Gezi Park protests. There's a lot of stuff happening.
That was a horrible
And I
time.
remember hearing some pretty awesome things about Beşiktaş. I'm not going to go into the details, but I really liked their actions during that time. And so I am henceforth a Beşiktaş fan.
Well, there it is.
I thought they were great for
Right. I mean, for us
some reasons.
Americans and people, you're in Turkey, you probably won't understand this, but we as Americans, we have no real connection to Turkish soccer, football, let alone soccer itself. So if there's a reason or a catalyst for us to support that team, we will. For me, it was teaching them, and for
There you go.
Desma, it was, the Gezi protest. That was a horrible time.
Whatever.
You know what? I was doing what musical was I doing when that was going on? It was West Side Story.
We were all doing West Side Story.
Yeah, it was West Side Story. It was
Yeah.
West Side Story.
That was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a crazy time.
Yeah.
That was a fully crazy time.
Pam was still here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our little
Pammy.
friend Pam.
Pam, come back.
We love our little friend Pam. We've been talking about things about life the last couple of episodes, right? So now we want to kind of dive into, as we say, we talk about life, love, and loss here on this podcast. We want to talk about love today, and love in a way that maybe you wouldn't expect. Not a romantic kind of love, but a self-love.
Self-love, because love
for
comes in
yourself.
all kinds of forms, right?
It does. It can come in best friend love. It can come in pet love. It can come in self-love. It can come in romantic love. It can come in all kinds of different ways. So,
Absolutely.
my question for you is, what kinds of ways do you express love to yourself?
Eat.
Hey, man, do it. I'm into it. And you cook really well, so that is a great way to express love to yourself.
I mean, seriously, half joking, half not joking, because I try to put myself on such a strict diet. I have to be honest, that can be torturous. So sometimes,
it's not fun.
It's
It's
not
never fun.
It's not fun. It's like sometimes you just want to have a cheeseburger. Yeah, I like to eat. So that's how I show myself love. Sometimes I like to buy myself like small gifts.
Yeah.
I'll buy myself, like if I saw a nice plate because I like dishes for some reason. If I saw a nice plate, I would be like, God, that's a really nice plate. That's a really nice plate. And then I say to myself, David, buy that plate when you want to show yourself love. Don't buy that plate because you like it and you want
You
it.
just want
There
it.
has to
Yeah.
be a reason for me to buy it.
Like
So
a
when I'm
reward.
right, like a reward, exactly. That's the word that I was looking for. So if I want to reward myself for something that I have done or something that I didn't do, I buy myself that plate. I'm not the type of person to just go out and just start spending money because I have it. I'm very
No,
I'm very
I'm not
selfish like that.
either.
So
Yeah. I think I don't know how I approach those things other than like I reward myself with experiences. I guess that's really what I do. I reward myself with like either travel or something that I can enjoy for a long period of time. I'm not really one to go and crazy shop and those kinds of things
yeah,
either. I don't really find a lot of joy in that, but like giving myself an experience like at a nice restaurant one day or going
exactly.
like on a trip to see a friend, like whatever that is, those are the
Yeah,
kinds of things that I treat myself to, I guess.
right. You like to
And
travel too, so
yeah, and I mean I also I guess in ways, yeah, eating for sure. I mean that's that's a treat for anybody, but um also like taking care of myself in different ways, like learning what works for me, what especially for my level of stress and anxiety. I suffer from anxiety. I have to learn how to be able to manage that and how to figure out how to work through it. So that's a way that I show myself love.
well, I suffer from anxiety too. So I think it's a Virgo Libra thing, which
I
is
think it's across the board,
it
but
could be
I
across the
mean,
board. I'm just a ball of anxiety. It's like I don't know why. Um, but having said that, how I show myself love. I guess the reason why I show myself love because I also have to be the hero in my story. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
because so many people, whether they like you or whether they're jealous of you or what, they always try to make you the villain. And
Mm.
when you see and hear that, not so often, but when you see and hear that, that kind of plays on you a little bit and it diminishes your self love. So you have to, somehow be the hero in your story, in your life story, I should say. Now, yes, it could very well be that I am the villain in somebody's story. It could be. But I also have to say to myself, what did they do to get me to that point? Because I'm not a villainous
Right.
person. What did they do
Right.
to make me the villain in their story? What did they do? You
Yeah. I
had to have done
mean,
something. So when I hear that I am the villain in somebody's story, it does play on me a little bit. I'm like, well, why? So then I have to show myself love. Either cutting that person out, eating a biscuit, baking a cake. I have to show myself love.
eat a biscuit.
Eat a biscuit, you know?
Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's a way to show self-love. That's a way to
Yeah.
show self-love. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm a villain in anybody's story. I might be. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess that's what villains are, right? They don't know if they're a villain or not. Do the
Well,
villains know
some
if they're
people
a villain?
know if they're
Some
villains.
people know. Some people definitely know if
Some
they're
people
villains.
know if they're villains.
I think you just kind of have to be able to treat yourself with kindness and love, even if, people have wronged you or, you try to make your way out of those situations.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? I don't know if
No,
that
it
made
does
any
make
sense at
sense because
all,
you
but
have to no,
I'm
you're
trying to
what
talk myself through it as I'm saying it.
but what you're saying makes absolute sense. I mean, it makes sense to me. You have to protect
Crawl out.
yourself somehow.
Crawl out and also
You have to protect
rise
yourself somehow.
above.
Exactly. You have to rise above it. You have to protect yourself because excuse my French, but people come out with the craziest and you're like, where did that come from? What did I do to you to No, I need to bubble wrap myself. Give me that biscuit.
I thought you were trying to genie yourself out of it. I
That
think
or that boing.
I'm genieing myself out of here.
I'm
I'll see you
genieing
guys
myself
later.
out
And
of
a
here.
ting.
I can't.
I
So
think I think that's gonna be my theme for this year. I just, if I'm in a bad situation, in my work or in a social situation, guys, I gotta get out of here.
I'm gone.
Bye.
Boink.
I'm out. I'm
I'm
out.
here for it. Can I just
So
tell
hmm,
you how cute you look today? You look so cute.
you're very sweet. I've started work again after the summer. My body doesn't know what I'm doing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, I'll be fine. Everything will be fine. But like I've been rolling with like 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep, like
Hey,
consecutively, and I can't deal, man. I need a little bit more than that.
if worse comes to worse,
I'm out.
I'm just saying.
Listen, melatonin has been a friend lately, so I'm good. I'm good. I'm all right. I think. I think.
Melatonin and
Thank you. I
chocolate.
feel. Hey, and I'm digging the shirt. The shirt looks great.
Thank
It's
you.
nice. I like the color actually because you so
Yeah.
often wear only
Black.
dark.
Yeah.
So total side note, how
Yeah.
is your kickboxing going? How is that going?
Let me tell you something. It's actually going quite well. That is some self-love, and I'm starting to acclimate myself to it now. Um, it's not as painful anymore. I'm getting a lot more joy out of it. I understand
Oh,
my dojo a lot more now, and I'm here for it. So that is also a form of self-love for myself. So,
yeah.
and I guess it goes hand in hand. I should say, when I do that, and I'm like, yeah, David, you did a really good job. Now let's go have a cheeseburger.
Well, hey, man, like whatever brings you joy. And if you're getting joy out of it, after some like hard times and some difficult situations, it's good that you can like push yourself past that,
Absolutely.
It's really good for you, mentally and physically, I'm sure,
Absolutely. What about
both.
you? Self-love?
What am I doing with self-love? Well, I try to stay as active as I can, but I just started working. I'm a preschool teacher. I'm all over the place. But you know what I really like doing? I like
Petri
going
dish.
on. Well, yeah, I work in a petri dish. Not yet. When the kids come, I will. I like walking my little dog. It's really nice.
Yay!
And she hates being outside. She's the only dog that I know that doesn't like to go on walks.
Really?
Um, I know she's a lady's lady. She just wants to be on the side all the time. When we finish our walk, I mean, now she does eventually like it if we're in a new place or whatever. But when we come back home, it's hilarious because she is like darting down the hallway, like darting. To get home. And then when I unleash her, she goes directly to her toys. It's like she wants to make sure that all of her toys are still here.
That's
Like,
very peculiar.
I know she's just a funny kind of girl, you know. She just doesn't really want to go on walks for a long period of time.
Because,
And
I
when she
mean,
comes back,
most
she's so relieved to be back.
dogs like it to go outside.
I know. I know.
Maybe it's because she's so small, or she
well,
realizes she's small.
she's a baby, first of all. She's
Okay.
learning. She's getting bigger. But she's scared of everything. And
Yeah.
so everything makes her nervous. And so she's getting better. She's getting more confident. She's, learning about the noises and stuff that she can find outside. But when we come back, it's hilarious because she just goes directly to her toy basket. She's like, oh my gosh, they're still here.
Oh.
I love these toys so much. It's really
Aw.
funny. It's cute. So I have a today years old for you. I know usually you have these today years old. Today I have one.
Yay!
And it's a bit about self-love in that it's a sport. And I feel like people do this to show themselves self-love and care. We all know the Olympics is over, but not entirely. And that is because Paralympics is going on and I'm a fan.
I've
Let me ask you,
I've never watched a Paralympics. Never.
okay, so this is new to me too. I don't think I've ever watched it either. I think I've seen snippets of it, but I've never like gone in, And I didn't know a lot of the sports that are a part of the Paralympics.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of the Paralympics, but I've never watched it.
Right,
And it's
right.
not like that. I was just gonna say a lie. It's not because I didn't want to. It's not. I really didn't want to. I didn't want to watch it, and I don't know why.
Listen, like the Olympics in general it's incredible. It's amazing. I mean, you've got people from like Simone Biles, who is at the absolute top of her game, to, people that do shot put and people that, they run track and like all these incredible athletes that have worked so much and so hard for so long. And they have family members that are supporting them. Paralympics, exactly the same. And I I went into like a rabbit hole of information about the Paralympics recently, and I'm like, whoa, this is incredible. So first of all, there are some games that I did not know that they have. Like, let me just read some. They have like equestrian, badminton, table tennis. They have para Nordic skiing. Para Nordic skiing. I know it's wild. And there's one game that I really, really I like a lot. It's called Goal Ball. Do you know anything about this?
Look, I put one foot in front of the other, and I'm happy. I don't even know what that is.
Okay, Goal Ball was developed in 1946 for veterans of World War II to rehabilitate themselves and to make them stronger and to give them a sport, I think, to maybe encourage confidence and ability and that kind of thing. It is a sport for visual impairments, people that are visually impaired. And there are varying levels of visual impairment. And each game, not just goal ball, but each game in the Paralympics is divided in numbers. So, say you're going to play tennis, there's like 1 through 10, let's say, in ability. So, the person that's T1 would have more vision than the person that would be T10, whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's varying abilities of vision and varying abilities of ability with your body.
Do they match each of their components accordingly, or they just
Yeah, so
lump
it's
them all
all
together?
totally no, it's totally fair. So
Okay,
that's why it's
okay.
so interesting. So they have to go through all of these doctor visits and everything and like interviews and like how they to do various different things,
Yeah.
different sports and athletics, and then they're put into those games. So goalball is, basically for people that have visual impairments. Doesn't matter how much of a range you have. There are like specific glasses that make you it's totally dark. So everybody
Oh.
is on the same exact playing field, literally.
Oh.
Like on the same playing field, but also they can't see at all. So there's like they're like black glasses. If you watch it, it's really interesting. They've got them and they've got like the coaches and everybody, they have to like look at their glasses and make sure everybody is like they can't see anything.
Like
And they're
everybody's on
not
the same level.
totally. And you can't touch them at all. Like if you touch them, you're disqualified or like
Oh.
you can't adjust them. Somebody has to adjust them for you. It's a whole thing. So think of it as kind of like soccer, like football, except for the goal is really, really long. And there's 3 people on each team.
Mm-hmm.
And these 3 people are trying to get the ball into this goal. And these 3 people are trying to get the ball in this goal. It's pretty
Right.
simple. But it's not so simple because it has to be totally quiet in the entire stadium. You have to, it is crazy. It has to be totally quiet. The ball itself has small bells inside. So I don't know if it's like 1 or 2 bells, but there's a bell inside of the ball. And the people like that are the players, they have the goggles and they're holding the goal to kind of figure out where they're going to throw the ball. And the other players are either on the floor, kind of like laying down, or half up, half down, and listening for the ball to block it. The referee, yes, I know, it's incredible. And then the referee has to say a million times over, and I love this referee. This lady is amazing. I think she's British, but the entire time that people are playing, because of course you have family members and coaches and other players that are cheering the people on. They want to cheer them on, and you cannot by any means say anything or do anything while the ball is in play. Everything has to be totally silent because the players have to listen to the ball. It's crazy. And so whenever they get the ball in the goal, then you're allowed to scream. And they're like, ah! And so the British lady, the referee, she's like, quiet, please, quiet, please, quiet, please. I felt like she is like me as a teacher all the time.
I'm sorry,
Isn't that
but
incredible?
let me tell you something. I couldn't play that game with my eyes open. I mean,
No. So then as it's being played, they're, they get the ball in or whatever. And then of course they have like timeouts or whatever. They have to go and talk to their teammates, um, about strategy and everything. And then they've got people that are cleaning the floor because it can get wet with sweat or water or whatever they're, like if they're drinking. So they come out there and they clean the floor really quick so that the floor is pristine for them to get on the floor again because they could slip or fall or, like other things can happen.
yeah.
But isn't that incredible?
You know what? As soon as we get done here, I'm going to open the YouTubes and I'm going to watch this because you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of in high school playing dodgeball.
Yes.
And you know
Right?
what? I couldn't even play that game with my eyeballs open. Never mind being blind. I'm here for it. I'm going to watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's incredible. And okay, so my second one is I I learned that there is a woman that is from the US. She's from I think Indiana, or she lives in Indiana right now. She won 55 Paralympics gold medals, or sorry, medals, not just gold.
At
55.
at this
The
Olympics.
most the most no in like 9 different, I got to look at my notes, but like I think it was like 7 or 9 different 7 different games.
Oh,
She
okay.
won 55 medals.
For
Swimming. She is the most decorated
okay.
Olympian
Okay,
in
okay.
all time. So she was born without an iris, like without irises. I
Okay.
think it's called endoridia. Andoridia is the name, I think, of the issue with her eyes. But she was born without the colored part of her eyes, and that
Okay.
led to her visual impairment.
Okay.
So she overcame that issue in terms of swimming, and I don't want to say overcame because I think that's just part of like who you are. But she yeah, she won how many gold medals? 40 something, 41 gold medals, 9 silver, 5 bronze. And I think that is also part of the Junior Olympics. Like it's not just like the
So
Olympics,
when
I
she's
think.
swimming, how does she know where she's going? Are there like sound indicators, or is there sonar, or how does she know to swim in a straight line?
I think you train to do that. I think just like anybody else, you just train, your body knows how to do it.
I know
I
I have
don't
to
think
figure that out. Because the reason why I'm asking that is because the people who are visually impaired and they're like the track and runner, not track and run, they're like the people who run track, like the 200 meter,
yeah, track and
400 meter,
field.
track and field,
Mhm.
they always have somebody tied to them to make sure that they stay in a straight line. Because there was
Mm.
an experiment done, it was on
Ah.
Mythbusters, where they blindfolded themselves to see if they could walk in a straight line, and they never did it. They would always naturally curve off and walk in a circle, and they thought that they were walking in a straight line, but they weren't. They were literally
Oh,
walking
really?
around. You naturally start walking in a circle naturally, and nobody knows why. Anyway, um, so
Hmm.
I'm saying if she's swimming, how does she know? Maybe it's because it's a short distance. How does she know to stay in
No,
her own lane? If she,
it's
I mean, I'm sure
it's
she
this.
doesn't have any peripheral vision.
Well, I'm not sure of the degree of her vision. I know that she was in the scope. I may have written it down somewhere, but she was in the scope of visual impairment. You know,
Okay.
she qualified definitely, and I think it doesn't matter if it's long or short. I think it matters how long you can swim. So, I
But
mean, they
yeah, but that's just my argument. My argument is how does she know to swim in a straight line? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because when you're swimming, you have no idea if you can't see, you have no idea if you're swimming in a straight line or not.
You know what? I watched an interview with her a couple days ago, and she was talking about how they had changed. I can't remember which Olympics, but they had changed the qualifications. And so people that had better visual acuity, better vision
Yeah.
could participate with her. And she felt like it was unfair. I didn't, she didn't really go too much into that, but she said ultimately I won, and I can do it. So like it was okay. But
Okay. I mean, no,
I
I'm
don't
I'm
know.
asking out of
It's
curiosity.
incredible.
It's absolutely incredible. I'm not trying to diminish her achievement. It was for on my part. It's more curiosity. How does she
Yeah,
know to swim in a
how?
straight line? It would be interesting to
I'm
know, though.
Yeah, I'm not. I couldn't tell you about that, but I know that she did it,
Yeah.
and it's incredible.
And it is
And
incredible. What, 50, 57 goal, 57,
55,
55.
55,
Gee whiz.
55 medals, and that
Wow.
is crazy. She was a torchbearer, I think, and one, and then there was something else that she did. She was a part of the Olympic Committee or something for another one, but she worked as a teacher. She worked as a teacher for children with visual impairments. So
Nice.
and now she's just this lady that's I think in her late 60s, just hanging out, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it all the time. I don't want to think about it all the time because that's a lot of pressure. Because that's incredible. That's so much. Hmm.
So this woman who is swimming in a straight line, also a teacher, you know what? She gets all the flowers because I can't do either one of what she has done. She gets all the flowers.
I thought her story was incredible, and again, going down a deep dive of all the things that she's done, and I just couldn't believe it. We I didn't know anything about this lady. Her name is Trisha Zorn Hudson. Trisha Zorn Hudson, and she is an incredible athlete. And you know, she's an American, and she was in, I want to say, a war zone, and she lost her leg. And she'd never been an athlete before. She'd never tried anything like that before. And she decided to do swimming as a form of therapy, as a form of pushing herself, as a form of self-love. And now she's on the Olympics. Her husband is her trainer, and she got a silver the other day.
Nice.
Like that, those kinds of stories, just forget about it. I was on my couch crying. Like,
But can I just tell you something?
Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like, she didn't even think that she could like she wasn't really an athlete. She didn't think of herself as an athlete. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, she's got a silver, and she's like trying to inspire other vets and like people in the service to love themselves and to treat themselves with kindness. And like, it's just so cool. Like,
but can I just tell you something? I am that stereotype. I am that black man. I cannot swim.
You don't know how to swim?
Nope.
Really?
If you threw me in a pool deeper than 6 feet, I would drown.
You know, I'm not a very good swimmer either.
I would drown.
Why don't you know how to swim? Did you not have a lot of experience in water as a kid?
Like if you told me to swim from point A to point B, I could do that. But if you told me to swim from point A and then in the middle tread water and then move the part, I couldn't do it. I can't tread water. I sink like a rock.
Should we do swimming lessons together?
I would love to.
I've never done any swimming lessons either, but this lady made me want to do swimming lessons.
Yeah, I would love to. I'm here for it.
She was inspiring.
I'm here for it. Because let me tell you something. If she's swimming and she ain't got but one leg, and I got both of my legs, and I can't swim, come on now. Let's do it.
She was, her story is just so lovely. Just so lovely. Like,
that's nothing short of amazing. Let me tell you something. I mean, someone lost a limb serving the country, and then instead of, falling into self-pity and all that, she's like, no, I'm going to love myself. I'm going to do something. I'm going to an Olympic athlete. I mean, I'm
going to look up her name. I forgot her name.
That's like ultimate self-love.
Okay. So her name is Elizabeth Marks. This is the lady that got the silver for the swimming, and she is in the U.S. Army. She did the 50-meter freestyle the other day, and she set an American record, a new American record for the event, and it was 32.9. But she is awesome, and I think we should totally do swimming lessons.
I'm here for it
because she's inspiring.
I can't swim, so I'm here for it. Why not? So,
shall we do our outro?
That's going to be it for today, my friend.
Thank you for joining us in our unlikely journey.
Thank you. And again, if you are watching on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. And also hit the notification bell so that you know when we post a new video.
And thanks for watching all the way to the end. The algorithm gods are digging it, man. They sprinkle all that fairy dust, so it says that you like our content.
Absolutely. And also, if you're on linear platforms, give us a good rating so that the algorithm gods know that you like this and that we can make more content for you.
Thanks for being with me today, friend.
Thank you for being with me, friend.
Bye.
Bye.